NBC Bay Area presents Comunidad del Valle with Damian Trujillo.
We're back here on Comunidad del Valle. This is my kind of show. We're loaded up here on Comunidad del Valle because this is the annual Sabor del Valle event where the Napa Valley, Sonoma Valley, and actually the Silicon Valley, which is rich also in producing wine, comes together in one location. With me here on Comunidad del Valle are the organizers of the Sabor del Valle event, Ray Castañeda and Maria Socorro Castañeda Lyles on the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Ray, you've brought some great wines over the past few years here to Comunidad del Valle. This year, you're going to blow everybody out of the water.
Overdid it. And look at the names, you know, El Rey, Tonto. There's some great wines. Good one.
Tell us about this year's event. We do have some pictures from previous years that we grabbed from your website, but tell us about this year's event and what makes it special.
Well, it's our fifth year, fifth annual. But this year we're going to do a food and wine pairing, which should be interesting for a lot of people that have never done that. So we're going to pair the foods with the wines, and you're going to walk around and start with the light white wines and then end up with the reds. And that makes it special when you do it that, because a lot of people, the response has been food and wine pairing. We like that. That's a good experience for everyone.
I know that many people who attend the event all of a sudden say at the end, I want to be a part of this. Talk about, Maria, your situation and how involved you are. So
well, I'm part of the board, and he's my cousin. And it's a wonderful event. I mean, this is if you are like me that believes in giving back to the community, but at the same time having fun, this is the event to attend. For me, it's the summer event. That's a must attend. Great music, wine, food. We have desserts this year. We have nieve, we have ice cream, and ma tortilla soup. The band will be playing. That should be a lot of fun. So bring your dancing shoes.
Yes.
And we also have Arturo Coronado, who's a singer, fabulous. I mean, think Javier Solis. Yeah. He has a velvet voice, so you have to come.
This is the Tardeada event of the year, if you will, Ray, and you've made it that way because of the high caliber vintners who are. How many vintners are coming this year?
16.
Wow.
16 vintners.
And today on the show, you want to feature the local vintners. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, we have 3 that have been with us from day one, or 2. They're Travieso. How do you like the name? That's a great, I love the name. And the other one is Stefania. And they both have great stories, which I'll share with you. So, you know, people forget that it's not just Napa, Sonoma, but now it's Santa Clara County, Livermore, Calaveras, the Lodi area. We have a vintner coming from there, Otro Michoacano. And so that's what we want to make people aware that not only Latino vintners, but boutique vintners from Santa Clara County. Testarossa will be there also for the first time.
Is this, for those of us who maybe can't get away as often as we'd like to wine country, this is the way of bringing wine country to the valley?
That's exactly what, you just hit it right on the nail. You know, we're bringing them here with some great restaurants. You know, we have 8 restaurants and Chavez Taqueria, or Supermarkets Taqueria. So, and these aren't appetizers. Again, you've been there.
Right.
Each restaurant brings enough for 100 people.
It's a full plate of
it's a full
food.
plate, you know, and of course we have the desserts and Abel 1950 ice cream. So it offers a lot. You know, the arts, of course, we'll have art, jewelry, we'll have a silent auction, a live auction. If you want to go to Las Vegas for 3 days, we've got a live auction for you.
Very good. and then this is all fun and games, and it's great to taste all these wines, but it all goes to a good cause. We'll talk about that in our next segment. But again, Sabor del Valle is coming up on August 1st at 6 o'clock there at History Park in San Jose. Great venue for a great tardeada, sabordelvalle.org. We'll be back and talk more about who benefits from all of this when we continue. Stay with us. We're talking Sabor del Valle here on Comunidad del Valle. And Maria, this is, again, a tardeada. It's a great place to enjoy some great rich wines, eat some fabulous food, and enjoy some great music, and an all-out great night in Silicon Valley.
Exactly. I know it's really fun. Like I said, if you are looking for an event that you can say, you can look back and remember, I'm happy I went to this event and I want to go next year. Sabor del Valle is the event to come. It's a beautiful, family-friendly This year we're going to be having face painting for the children and an arts and crafts table, so it's family friendly. And also I would say to bring your business cards. You know, for people to bring their business cards, there's a lot of networking going on.
Mm-hmm. No, I've seen that, and you're absolutely right. A lot of people who you might want to meet there. And Ray, the bottom line is some great organizations who help some great people are going to be benefiting from this. Definitely.
We have Rotacare for the first year, and it's a clinic that was started from 25 years ago for doctors in the Bay Area. So now there's 12 clinics, but what it is, it's free. It's a free clinic for the uninsured. No questions asked. And ours is over at Washington Clinic in San Jose, Washington Elementary. Mm-hmm. So that's a great one. Teen Challenge Women and Children Center, which their center is over on the east side. And then Teatro Visión, the arts, and Valdez Math. Valdez Math is just, again, they've celebrated their 25th anniversary, and they have a proven track record. It's summer boot camp for kids. Where we come in is where the Latino, you have to qualify for this program, score-wise, but say the family doesn't have the funds, and that's where we come in, you know, sponsor several of these kids.
You know, it would be easy for you to make a big profit out of this and create a for-profit organization, but that's not the premise. The premise is to give back.
Yeah, and it's 100% volunteer. Mm-hmm. We also, what we're doing this year too is we're asking all our attendees to bring travel-size toiletries, gym socks, and razors. And that's to support Home First, which EHC Life Builders. And we're just going to collect them for them, and I think they're going to pick them up.
I mean, how big of a no-brainer is this, Maria, to again attend a fabulous event and then giving back at the same time?
Oh my God! I mean, they go together. I mean, for me, is that if you are like me, as I mentioned before, that it's important. It's life-giving to give back to the community, and also you want to enjoy a great time with friends, great food, great grind. This is the event to come. So it's a no-brainer. It's a must. If you miss it, you will regret it. That's all I have to say.
And it starts. It goes from what time to what time? Because this is again an outdoor venue.
6 to 10. Get there early. Get there early.
And you get your glass. You got your glass right here.
Yeah.
This is this year's glass. So you'll get your glass, and then you'll be able to walk around with this and taste all the.
You get to take it home.
And taste some of the great wines that are scattered throughout the venue there at the History Park.
Definitely.
All right. Well, again, it's Sabor del Valle. It's coming here to the San Jose area, History Park, on August 1st, starting at 6 o'clock. And there is a web address for more information, sabordelvalle.org. But more importantly, log on and find out which organizations, nonprofits, those that help the needy will actually be benefiting from your assisting or attending, I should say, this great event, Sabor del Valle in San Jose. Thank you all so much for what you're doing for our community.
Thank you, Damian.
Thank you, Damian.
And up next around Comunidad del Valle, Travieso Wines. Stay with us. Travieso Wines is one of the featured vintners at this year's annual Sabor del Valle event in San Jose. With me here on Comunidad del Valle is Ray Slider, who is the owner and winemaker for the brand. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, I think we have to ask you the obvious question, and that's the name of the label, Travieso Wines. Now, it's a name that I can relate to. I've been called that since I was probably 3 or 4 years old. Why the name Travieso Wines?
Well, we figured we were really getting in trouble doing this crazy operation, starting a winery, and we wanted to pay tribute to the heritage of California. So looking through texts and looking up names, we thought, you know, why don't we just directly translate mischievous? And we found Travieso. It rolls off the tongue, and it really speaks for this crazy venture we're getting into.
And people relate to it. I mean, the word Travieso is kind of, I mean, everybody knows what it means, basically.
And a term of endearment as well, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, now talk about your venture and let's talk about your wines first and the high quality of wines that you produce here with Travieso.
Well, we source, we don't have our own vineyards, but we source vineyards from all over California, premium vineyards by the acre, so that we can go in and manage the vineyard with the farmer and harvest the grapes at the most premium time and crop thin. And crop thinning is very important for us, so that we have a great tight control over quality. And so we harvest, our main vineyard is Laveau Vineyard in Dry Creek, and we also do Syrah from Santa Lucia Highlands, and we do a Rhone blend from Santa Barbara County. So we we source from all over California.
Well, how do you convince a grower to say, give me an acre here and an acre there, and I want to do my own thing?
We basically say, we're going to pay a set fee for the full acre, and no matter how much we crop thin, that farmer will receive the same amount. So we're basically paying for the grapes that we drop on the ground, which don't make it to harvest. And it's very important for us to work with the farmer year after year so that we're on the same page all the time.
And do you, can you get these at the market, or do you have to go to your...
We are in a few markets locally, very sporadically. We're featured at the Grill on the Alley in downtown San Jose. They carry most of our wines. We also have a small tasting room in Campbell at our winery, but it's only open on Saturdays.
What makes you guys unique, do you think, aside from the label?
Well, we try to present our passion. We try to be proud of, first of all, we make the wines for ourselves, and we believe that will reflect in the quality, and that will define us. And so we're not trying to be anybody but ourselves.
All right. Now, what was it about Sabor del Valle 5 years ago that made you say, I'm in?
We were very excited about being part of the community. We want to show our love for the San Jose area and the people, and we thought it was a great fit, and we're just so happy to be participating.
No, that's great. And you've been doing this for 10 years. What were you doing before? What made you say, let's try this?
Well, my buddy, we're longtime friends. Grew up in Menlo Park. My buddy showed up at my house with a pickup truck full of grapes and a barrel, and he said, "Ray, we're making wine." So he's the big picture guy, and I'm the detail guy. So it really worked out. And we just both developed a love for winemaking. Because
it's science. Did you have to go back to school and earn a winemaking degree?
Actually, I think I did all of my reading and my mistakes home winemaking in the living room. So,
so you wrote your own textbooks then on how to make your own wine?
Maybe I could, yes.
Anything unique that you've gotten over the last 5 years of participating in Sabor del Valle? I mean, we mentioned the flair of the event, the folks who show up. Anything that pops into your top of your head?
It's mostly the comments on the name and how it really hit home with people, how they call each other Travieso back home, and how they like the meeting the winemakers and being, us shaking hands and tasting wine with them, and how that's so special to them. So it's our guests are the people that come to our table all really appreciate that we're there and being part of the whole event.
Now I'm hearing, just did an event over in Napa the last weekend, and I'm hearing that because of the drought and the heat, that it's an early harvest season this year.
Yeah, it'll be, I heard maybe 3 weeks early, so I'm expecting a call from all of our farmers saying, get ready, get set, let's go.
What does it mean for the quality of your wine when you're harvesting, or does it mean anything?
I think year to year the climate changes represent just a unique challenge for every year, and it makes for a different tasting wine. Sometimes the acidity is lower, sometimes it's higher. Sometimes the sugar levels are higher, resulting in a higher alcohol level. But there's always a unique challenge for every vintage, and I couldn't say this would be a bad or a good one, but I believe it's going to be very nice.
Good. All right. Well, give us your website, if you will, as we put up the website for Sabor del Valle. What's your website so people can log on as well?
We're traviesowinery.com, Travieso winery.com.
All right, and Google that, and also log on to Sabor del Valle. They'll have some great information for you there as well. Thank you so much for sharing your fine wine with us here on the show.
Thank you, Damien.
All right, and up next here on Comunidad del Valle, Stefania Wines. Stay with us. He's one of the owners of Stefania Wines, another local product here on Comunidad del Valle. They're also participating at this year's Sabor del Valle event. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And so did you not have a choice in naming your brand Stefania Wines? It was probably a tribute to your wife, I would imagine.
It was a tribute to my wife. When we came up with the idea, we tried a few different names. Some of them we liked, some were okay, but ultimately it was her permission to spend our 401ks on the winery. So it seemed like a good tribute to her.
When was that, and how hard, or was it a hard decision to take that leap?
So it was a really big decision, a very different thing for us to do. We're at the 10-year mark now. We started out taking care of vineyards, so we actually started with the farming side of the business, and then to go into the winemaking side and do the winery side of the business was a big leap. All of them were big leaps to do for us, but it was really exciting and something we still enjoy a great deal.
Now, your advice to those who enjoy, and it's a great trip, traveling over to wine country and sipping on the great wines there. Your advice to them when we have the caliber, the brand that we have here in Silicon Valley?
Yeah, I think it's something, you know, it's really easy to overlook what great wine we have here locally in the Santa Clara Valley and the Santa Cruz Mountains. And much smaller scale too. When you get to visit a winery here in the local area, you really have a high chance that you're going to be talking with the winemaker, somebody that's really intimately involved in producing the wine. So a smaller scale, much more intimate. And one of the things I think that people don't realize is this is really a fantastic winemaking area. Napa took off in the 60s and really expanded then. But it was really just a matter of the real estate here not being available for growing grapes. We were building houses and high-tech companies.
Right.
But for the 100 years before that, the Santa Clara Valley was really considered the premium wine growing area in California.
That's why the Massons were here. Talk about what you brought in and the caliber and the quality of wine that you produce.
Sure. So I brought in one of our bottles today, a Cabernet Sauvignon from the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Go ahead and hold it up for us.
Yeah, we actually produce Cabernets, Chardonnay, and then do some Syrah and Rhone blends as well. So one of our Rhone blends we do is Nueva Casa de los Padres. It's Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. In France, that blend comes from Châteauneuf-du-Pape, which in French is New Castle of the Popes. And I tell people we didn't have popes or castles in California. We had fathers and houses. So we did just a little play on the words there to reflect our heritage in the area.
And again, I'll ask you the same question. Is it was it back to school for you to learn the trade, or was it something that you kind of grew with?
So I did go back to school, enrolled in Davis for some classes on winemaking, and then did some remote learning from UC Davis, which is really the kind of premier winemaking school really in the world. We did enough probably to be dangerous at school. I didn't go back and do the full degree. And then a lot of internships and on-the-job training too. I volunteered to work at local wineries as much as I could, which is a lot of times cleaning things and picking up things. But you know, it's all great experience, the hard work that you need to learn how to do to make great wine.
And when Ray approached you and said, we're having this event, we'd like you to participate.
Yeah, we were really, really excited to do it. We don't do a lot of events during the year. We're a really small winery, and it's just myself and my wife and 2 part-time employees. So we're very picky, but this was really, really exciting for us. Not just the wine event, but the combination of food and art and music and really celebrating the community was something we were really supportive of. So we were glad to do it the first year. We had a fantastic time that first year, and it's been something we look forward to doing every year.
What is it about it? Do you find that when people are going from booth to booth, from table to table, tasting these great wines, that we're novices here when it comes to the questions we're asking about the wine, or are we kind of experts or quasi-experts when it comes to that?
Well, I think people, you know, really go the full gamut. There are definitely experts who know a lot about wine, and there's people who are learning, maybe their first time even doing a wine tasting event. The thing I've really liked about Sabor Del Valle is it's just such a great community event. And with everything else going on with the music and the art there, people aren't intimidated by the wine. If they don't know a lot, they feel more comfortable to ask questions. And of course, the winemakers are there, which is a great, you know, group of people to learn from. And then if you are an expert, there's great wines. There's really great wines to try, and Ray does a great job bringing in wineries from all over the state and great local wineries. So a great opportunity for people, you know, if you're a beginner, you're going to learn a lot and get to taste a lot of great wines. And if you're an expert, you're probably going to make some great discoveries too, because Ray's done a great job with the wineries.
Do you find that you actually yourself walk around and maybe ask a couple of questions from some of the other winemakers and say, how do you do this, how do you do that? Or is that a secret among?
No, absolutely. You know, winemakers, it's a great industry because we share a lot. And I don't say really that we compete. It's about sharing information and knowledge and how things are going out in the vineyard for the year, what you're seeing, a very supportive group of people. and really a community of winemakers. So that's been a great thing about that part of the business to be in.
When people approach you at Sabor del Valle this year, what do they have in store for that visit at your table?
Sure. Well, we're going to bring out our full group of wines, and it will be myself and Stefania, and we might have one or two friends that come and help us. So I think people get a chance to ask about each bottle of wine and what went into producing it, and really get the details on it. A lot of wineries say that their wines are handmade, but something that Stefania and I take a lot of pride in is we've actually touched every single cluster of grapes that ends up in the bottle of wine. We go through and do the picking. We have friends and family that come out and help with that, and then all the processing ourselves. So you get that really perspective of what it's like from beginning to end, from growing the grapes, growing the fruit, all the way through bottling the wine and finishing it up. And what was involved with each bottle. Each bottle and each vintage has a different story.
What does it say about those who attend the event, either as vintners or as patrons, due to the fact that the proceeds go to these worthy organizations, these worthy causes?
Yeah, that's another great thing about this event. A lot of the wine tasting events are really kind of for-profit types of things, and this is great that it supports the community. So many organizations benefit from it. And really, as Ray said earlier, this year the addition of bring some small toiletries and to assist with the homeless initiative that they're doing through Sabor Del Valle. So you can feel good about the community as well. What you're paying to get in is really going back into the community organizations that need that support. It certainly makes me feel great to do that.
Sure.
Know that we're supporting the community that we live in too.
And again, if I want a bottle of Stefania wines, I'd have to go to your tasting room on Saturdays, or how would that?
So we actually don't have a tasting room. Our winery is located in Woodside, which is very, very strict on visitors. People can contact us if they'd like to come up and see the winery. But on our website, we do have a place to order wine or sign up. Many of our wines sell out very, very quickly, so people like to sign up in advance and know when they're coming out, so they're prepared for that.
All right. Well, Sabor del Valle is coming again to San Jose. Wine Country comes to Silicon Valley. In fact, we have our own Wine Country here. Give us your website as well as we show the one for Sabor del Valle.
Sure. It's www.stefaniawine.com, and that's STEFANIAWINE.com.
All right. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
Well, I just encourage everybody to come out. This is a fantastic event. Like I said, we don't do a lot of wine events, but this one we enjoy so much. The art, the music, and the wine and food is really a great thing for everybody to come out and see.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know which, some great vintners, and then you're going to have some great music with tortilla soup, and then the food and everybody else, the camaraderie and the networking. So thank you so much for coming on our show and sharing the Stefania wine label with us here on the show.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you there at Sabor del Valle.